Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a full face of only one brand of product. I have been excited to start this series on my channel. I picked a drugstore brand for the first of this series and I am excited for you guys to see that. Is how we did today's look that you're seeing right now. So if you like that type of video, if you like that type of thing, then go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and ring the bell so that you are notified of all my upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing a series of palette throwback Thursdays, and then I'm going to be continuing doing a full face of one brand of product, and we will probably do those once a month. So if that is something you guys are interested in and you want to see how I got this look today, then just keep on watching and let's hop right in. So the first thing I have is the NYX Marshmallow Primer, and this is what it looks like. I tried to get the mini of this one just so I could try it out because I don't like to get the full-size ones, and then if they break out my skin or they don't work for me, then I'm stuck with a full-size bottle of something that I can't really use. But they were out of the mini, so I just went ahead and picked up the full-size one. So it comes in a pump, you guys, and says use alone or with foundation. It's supposed to be blurring. So I'm going to do a couple of pumps on the back of my hand. Okay. So it's like a whipped texture. It smells like a marshmallow. So if your skin is sensitive to fragrance, you might want to skip this one. So first I'm going to go into the areas that I want a little bit of extra blurring. It doesn't feel thick on the skin. Feels pretty good. It's definitely very, very sweet smelling. So if you don't like that in a primer, or if your skin is really sensitive to fragrance, then you might not like this one. I'm just going to take the rest of what was on the back of my hand and I'm just going to kind of smooth it over the rest of the face. So it doesn't feel bad. It feels a little tacky, which I'm fine with. Maybe it'll help grip our foundation. It definitely smells sweet, but it doesn't linger. I can't smell it anymore after I applied it. Now we're going to go in with the NYX Total Control Pro foundation. And the really cool thing about this, you guys, is that they have all different colors of this, and they have different undertone shades. So they have like a green, a red, and I think like a tan yellowish undertone shade, and you can buy those along with this. And they also have one that's got like pearlescent in it, so you can make your foundation a little bit more glowy. And it comes in a little dropper, and you can kind of like mix your own custom foundation shade if their regular range of shades don't have something that's close enough to your skin tone. So I thought that was really cool. I just grabbed one that matched me pretty well. So it's in a glass bottle, and it's kind of like separated. Like it's a little thicker on the bottom, and then you can see it's more liquidy on the top. So we'll shake that up. And most of these products I have never used before. So these are my honest first impressions of these products. So it looks like that's nice and shaken up. So let's just undo that and see what we have. And let's just see. This is a pretty thin consistency. So let's just see. Oh yeah, it's like a super thin consistency. Okay. So that's what it's looking like. Very thin consistency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this on a foundation brush, a flat packed foundation brush. This is one from Sonia Kashuk from Target. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little dropper and just put some on the top of my foundation brush, and let's just see what that does. Okay, that's working. It kind of sank into the brush, so I was a little scared that it wasn't going to work. It's very thin, but full coverage, so that's kind of interesting. And I'm just kind of buffing that into my skin with circular motions with the brush. Okay, so that's about a medium coverage. It looks super weird right now because they completely blanked out my lips. Let's see how we can build the coverage. And I'm stippling it to build up that coverage, and then we'll buff it all in. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. It's pretty full coverage. It feels kind of oily on the skin, so if you have oily skin, like, yeah, on my hand it still feels like pretty oily. So if you have oily skin, you might not like this one. But if you have kind of drier skin, you might really enjoy this. So what I want to do now is use a dampened beauty sponge, and we're just going to kind of make sure everything is nice and airbrush looking. I'm liking it a little bit more after I ran the beauty sponge over there. And now let's go into some concealer. This is the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. This is in the shade Vanilla. And you screw the top off, and then it's a little puff. So we will put that on our under eyes. Squeeze a little bit of the product. Okay, that's pretty nice, guys. Okay, so we will blend that out with a dampened little beauty sponge. Okay guys, that blended out really pretty. Everything's looking very dewy and glowy right now. Let's go ahead and just set our under eyes, and we're going to use the Can't Stop Won't Stop mattifying powder. And this one is in the shade medium. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pat out any, I mean, this is creasing like crazy under my eyes, but it's a glowy concealer, so I'm not surprised. I'm going to tap out any creasing. I'm going to grab some of that powder on this same beauty sponge, and we're just going to tap that right into place, because we only want to set our under eyes right now. Now that our under eyes are set and they're not going to crease, we're going to go in with another liquid product. This is the Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. This one is in the shade Gleam, and this is like a liquid highlighter. They were completely out of their powder highlighters. I don't know if they're just really popular or they just are having trouble with their shipments. So this is what it looks like. We will take some of that on our finger, kind of tap that where we want a little bit of highlighting, and we'll tap that in with our finger. Okay, that gives a nice kind of natural rose-toned glow. It's not bad. I would have preferred the powder highlighter, but they were sold out, so I just grabbed that one to see how that one would look. Maybe next time I'll put it underneath the foundation since this foundation is pretty sheer at first, or maybe I will just go immediately on top of it, or maybe I'll go all over the face with it next time. So now we'll go into our next cream product, and this is the Sweet Cheeks Cream Blush, and this is in the shade Coralicious. So let's see what that's looking like. Okay, it's a doe foot. We'll just put that right where we want our blush. Now I'm going to take this small little beauty blender on the bottom side and we will just blend that together. Okay, that's not looking too bad. I used too much. I wasn't sure how much to use, but I definitely used too much. So next time I'll just go in with like one dot of it. And we'll go ahead and swatch that for you guys. Alright, so now we've got in the same line as that Sweet Cheeks, we've got the Sweet Cheeks Matte Blush. This one is in the shade Bang Bang. And I'm going to use that to set this cream blush. So what we are looking like in the pan. And what I'm going to do is just take that on a fluffy brush and just kind of dip in. And then we will set this cream blush down. We are looking blushed. No doubt about that one. Now let's go ahead and set the rest of the face with this mattifying powder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to swirl into that powder and pick up a bunch on there. And then we're just going to set down the rest of the face. Okay, that's looking good. I do like that powder. So now let's go into some bronzer. This is the NYX Matte Bronzer, and this is in the shade Medium. And it's in a black packaging, plastic packaging. And then that's what we're looking like on the inside. You get a mirror, which is nice. And that's going to be your shade. It's looking a little pink on camera, but it's not. I'm just going to swirl into this bronzer. We're just going to stick that right in the places we want some bronzing. Okay, that one's not bad, you guys. It is a little dark for me. They didn't have the lighter shade, and I thought this one would work. It definitely goes on evenly, not patchy, and blends out really well, but I think this shade is just too dark. Alright, so we've got the NYX Ultimate Edit Petite Palette. This one is in warm neutrals, and there are not shades on this. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the shades. So this is shade number 1. Shade number 2. Pretty metallic shade. Shade number 3. shade number 4, shade number 5, and shade number 6. Okay, so that is shades 1 through 6 of that palette. They're all really pretty. They all swatch really well, so I'm excited to see how they perform on the eye. All right, so first we're going to make sure that our eyes are set, and we will take some of that NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop mattifying powder, and we will tap out any creasing. And then we will set that down with the powder. And what we will do is we will go into a fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to dip into shade number 1 and use that all across the lid. And we'll just kind of lay down a nice base. So now what I want to do is use a bigger fluffy brush that's a little bit more tapered, and I'm going to go into shade number 4 right here. I'm going to dip my brush in there, coat it, tap it off. We're going to stick that right in our crease. So now what I'm going to do, you guys, is pick up on this tapered Morphe brush. This is a 431. I'm going to clean it off in this shadow switching pan and make sure it's completely clean. Make sure there's no other shadows on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up shade number 6, which is right here. And I am going to put that right on the outer edge of the eye. So now what I want to do is go back into this kind of flatter blending brush. And I want to dip into shade number 5. It's very similar to shade number 4, but it's a little darker and it's got a little bit more of a red tint. I'm just going to barely tap into it and tap the excess off. And I'm going to put that into the crease to kind of deepen that up. Now I'm going to go back in with our more fluffy blending brush right here, and I cleaned it so it would be, so we'll take like a clean brush and buff everything together. And then we will pick up some of shade number 6, which is that chocolate shade, and we will kind of marry those together, going from the outer edge up into the crease ever so slightly. Now I want to go into the shimmer shades, and we've got shade number 2 and number 3. This is more of a bronzy brown kind of golden reflect shimmer shade, and this one is more of a red orange reflect. So first I want to go into the goldish brown one, and we're going to put that right on the outer edge of the lid, right where we put that matte brown shade. I'm just picking some of that up on my finger. Now I'm going to go into that orange red shade with my finger. I'm going to go right on top of where I ended with that brown shade and work that all the way across the lid. I'm going to go back into that coppery brown shade and just kind of blend everything together like so. Now I'm going to go on a e.l.f. blending brush. This is more of a flat, fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to go back into shade number 1 right here. Just going to pick up and liberally coat the brush with that. And I'm going to just buff everything together, starting at the brow bone and working my way down into the crease. Try not to disturb those shimmer shades, and that is looking really nice. So let's pick out something for the lower lash line, and we'll take it on a small little tapered brush like this. So what I want to do first is go into the lighter matte shade, which is shade number 4, and I'm going to take that on the lower lash line, starting at the edge, really concentrating it on the edge, and then just dragging it all the way across. Now I'm going to dip into shade number 5, which is that darker version of shade number 4, and we're going to really concentrate that on the outer edge. And now the last thing I'm going to do with this lower lash line is take this brush. This came in the Naked Smoky palette, and it's got a nice little tapered blending brush right here. And I'm going to dip into that brown shade, and I'm going to knock the most of it off. I'm just going to use that brush to just kind of blend everything nice in together. So that's what that's looking like. It's really pretty. Now let's try out some eye product. This is the NYX Professional Retractable Eyeliner, and this is in the shade just brown. We will line our eyes with this. That went really nicely into the waterline. It doesn't say that this is a gel. It does say waterproof. It doesn't say that this is a gel, but it kind of goes on like a gel. So we'll line the top now. Okay, so that is the eyeliner completed. Now let's go ahead and do our brows. I picked up this NYX Microbrew pencil. This is in the shade Brunette, and it has a little spoolie on the end. Here is the components, and it is super tiny. And then on the other end, you get a little tiny spoolie. So I'm going to brush through my brows. I'm going to twist up this component, and we will start filling them in. Not bad. I prefer the e.l.f. brow pencil. I feel like if you had really thin brows, you would like this. I don't have really thin brows, and I just need to fill in the places that are a little bit more sparse. So for me, I prefer a little bit thicker eye pencil, or even just a powder and then fluff through and set with some brow gel. But if you had thin brows and you needed to draw individual hairs, I think you would really like that one. Now we'll go into this NYX Worth the Hype mascara. This is what the brush looks like, kind of your standard mascara brush, just a little tapered kind of brush. And let's throw some of that on. I'm going to go to the lower lashes first. Okay guys, that's not bad for a drugstore mascara. It's not too wet. It's not like smudging and getting everywhere because it's like freshly new and out of the package. I do like that. I think I prefer the L'Oreal Lash Paradise if you're going to go with a drugstore mascara. But this one is not bad, you guys. Alright, so that is one eye completed. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the other eye, and then we'll be back and we will throw on a lip. Okay Okay guys, we are back and both of the eyes are completed. I did enjoy the eyeshadow palette. It blended well. It wasn't patchy. It wasn't chunky. It's a really pretty eyeshadow palette and it's really compact. It would be great for travel or just to throw in your makeup bag on the go, and you can do a complete look with this. There really isn't a brow bone highlight in this palette, but you don't necessarily need that. If you're going to be bringing a regular highlighter with you wherever you're going, or you have a regular highlighter, you can just highlight the brow bone with that. So let's go ahead and go into the lip products. I picked up a couple. I picked up 2 of the Suede matte lip liners. I have tried these before, but not in these shades. This one is in the shade Vintage, and this one is in the shade Brunch Me, and I'll swatch both of those for you guys. And then I picked up the Suede matte lipstick. I was excited to try it because I love their Suede matte lip liners. So this is in the shade Soft Spoken, and this is what that one looks like. This one is in the shade Brunch Me. It's already pre-sharpened. These are sharpenable, and that is what that one's looking like. I think I'm going to go with this lighter shade Brunch Me. We're going to use that to line. Now we'll use this Suede matte lipstick, and this is in the shade Soft Spoken. Okay guys, this is the look all completed, a full face using only NYX products. I had a lot of fun doing this video. Let's run through the products really quick and I'll let you guys know my opinions. So first, we've got the NYX Total Control Dropper Foundation. I think it turned out really pretty. I'm not used to using this type of foundation, so I want to use it a couple more times. I definitely think that in the summertime, this one would not be for me because it is a little bit oily. It has a slip to it. It's set down beautifully with powder, but it would not be one I would reach for during the summer. The Marshmallow Primer, I could kind of take it or leave it. It's not, let's see if it did any kind of blurring. I feel like it blurred me a little bit. I wasn't a fan of the scent. I will keep using it because I do feel like it did a good job blurring. But you can find other blurring primers that aren't so sweetly scented if you are sensitive to fragrance in your makeup. The Born to Glow concealer, I really enjoyed. This is the Radiant Concealer. I've seen some people talking about this on TikTok, and a couple other YouTubers have been trying it out. I liked the little puff to applicate, and I liked how creamy it was. I'm a little bit drier right now, and we're coming up on the drier season, so that would definitely be one that I would reach for. Mattifying powder in the shade Medium. I definitely liked this one. I feel like it was really soft, felt kind of creamy. It set my under eyes beautifully. It set my eyelids beautifully. It's really a nice powder, and this would be a great one to throw in your purse to touch up on the go. It doesn't have a ton of pigment, but you could touch up around your oily areas. And I feel like it set the foundation really well, and it didn't pull any of the foundation up whenever I was setting it, so I did enjoy that. The Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator was not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of liquid highlighters. I just prefer a pressed highlighter, a powder highlighter. This is just not for me. The matte bronzer, I did like. I feel like it blended really easily. It's very soft, feels pretty finely milled, has a good slip to it, doesn't go on super pigmented or anything, and it lets you really blend it out with a brush and it doesn't get patchy when you're blending it out. I think I need to go one shade lighter with this. I'm a little bit darker right now because we are still kind of in summer in Florida, but I feel like that one is maybe a tiny bit too dark for me. The NYX Sweet Cheek Soft Cheek Tint, I wasn't a huge fan of. I don't like the applicator. I don't like the way you're supposed to put it on. It looks like a lipstick applicator, doe foot applicator. Maybe if I put it on a sponge with this and then use the sponge to apply it, I would like it more, but I feel like once I put it down, it was hard to blend out. The Sweet Cheeks Matte Creamy Powder Blush, I did enjoy that. I'll try that a couple more times on its own. I used it to set that other Sweet Cheeks blush. This one's in the shade Bang Bang. And like the rest of the other powders, it feels very silky, very smooth. It's a really beautiful color. I'm excited to try that again on its own. So that one I definitely did enjoy. Eyebrow pencil, it's just not for me. It's a great micro eyebrow pencil. You get a tiny little spoolie and then the component is super tiny. For me personally, I prefer a little bit bigger of a pencil because I don't really need to draw individual hairs on my brows. I just need to fill in the spots that aren't as thick in my brows, and so for that I prefer a little bit thicker pencil or just a brown powder. Worth the Hype mascara, I definitely was impressed by it. I liked the way it feathered out my lower lashes. I feel like it did a good job on the upper lashes, and I do feel like it gave my lashes some volume. And it's not a bad product. I just prefer the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I feel like it lengthens my lashes a little bit more. I do have very short lashes to begin with, so I'm pretty picky about what mascara I gravitate toward. The eyeliner pencil, I definitely enjoyed. It went on like a gel. I used it on my top eyeliner, and I don't usually use a pencil on my top eyeliner. I usually use powder, but this one went on very smoothly and it's waterproof, so I am anxious to see how it does in the waterline, if it collects in my tear duct or if it stays in place. And I was able to use it to kind of wing out the side a little bit, and it went on very smoothly on my top lash line. So that one definitely was a win for me. I have been using the Suede matte lip liner for a while, and so I knew I was going to like them. They go on super, super creamy. The Suede matte lipstick I definitely enjoyed. I like the shade. I'll pick up a couple more of those. That was a really pretty product. And then the eyeshadow palette, the Ultimate Edit. This one is in warm neutrals. This is a win for me, you guys. This is blended out beautifully. The shimmers were really pretty. I feel like it's a very soft fall look. I do have a palette that's very similar in tone to this, but not exactly the same. And I can see myself putting this palette into my go makeup bag, like the makeup bag that I take to work with me, or the makeup bag that I keep in my car. And if I'm like on the go and I need to just throw something on really quick, I feel like this would be a really good one to have. So I definitely enjoyed that. They have a couple more of these mini palettes, and so if you guys are looking for something that blends really beautifully, the mattes blend very beautifully like butter. They have a regular neutrals palette, and then I can't remember the other one they had. It was a little bit of a brighter kind of color palette. But this was definitely a huge win for me today. I think this was probably, other than the lipstick, this was probably my favorite product that I tried today. So there you have it, you guys. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more videos like this where I do a full face with one brand of product, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and ring the bell to turn on your notifications so that you are notified when I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.